welcome to Snowskate Overlords, the most authoritative podcast in snowskating. I'm Eric Fryc here with Zack Alworden, Andrew Nelson, and no guest tonight. Just talking shop with the boys. We got pretty lucky with the timing of this podcast recording. We're recording this Monday, December 13th, and we got blessed with episode 1 of the new Ambition video, Bleached. When we scheduled recording this podcast, we had no idea it was going to come out today, but that will be the first thing we go into. That was an exciting video segment. So before we get into that, though, how you boys been doing? Zach, you been skating a lot this winter already?
I've been snow skating a lot, and for the amount of snow skating I've done, I think there's been maybe 2 good days to be accounted for. It's been so
really?
warm.
Oh,
so I probably went out 10, 11 times, and maybe 2 of those days were actually solid days. But we've been we haven't filmed anything for real yet, but we've been filming a lot of Insta stuff. And by that, I mean me and Danny and Red.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
He's just blowing up over there, doing his thing.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
Going viral.
Yeah. Do you guys even have snow right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a pretty good storm the previous Friday, and it's going to get wrecked this week. But Andrew and I got out on a Friday night. That was pretty fun. First session of the year. I hadn't even thought about snow skating at this time last week. Just nothing. And I got some boards and finally got some snow in Minneapolis, and yeah, it's been great. So Andrew, other than the session on Friday night, how you been, bud?
Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to get some snow. I got my pre-orders in, so I got my boards all ready. Doing some work around the park. And then we went out. Yeah, that was Friday, right? And it was good. Yeah, it was windy. The snow was a little wet, but other than that,
not great conditions.
We got a lot. So I mean, I'm hoping it sticks around. Mm-hmm. It's at least a good sign. I'm hoping that maybe we get some consistent snow that sticks around, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, the park's been going well. Building some new stuff, so that's always exciting. Been prepping.
You got 20 inches at your house, right?
Oh yeah, St. Paul got just dumped.
Which is so crazy because we got 7 inches in Minneapolis, and you're 9 miles away, and you got 20 inches. So crazy. Yeah, St. Paul and the East Metro got wrecked.
Oh my, yeah, I sent that picture, and this has never happened, but I have a snowdrift in my yard that goes above my knees. So it was so windy when it was snowing that literally there's just a big ridge that goes around my house like a snowdrift, and I was like, I don't know what to do with it. It's just it's too much. No, honestly, it's crazy. But yeah, other than that, doing good.
Sick. Yeah, I'm so stoked to skate your park again this winter. I'll have to get some park footage, and hopefully the Go Snow Skate Day thing happens again. We'll see. Yeah. Even though
looking forward to
Icon
that.
is now defunct. R.I.P. It was a great run. Maybe we can get Matt out of retirement and do the Go Snow Skate thing again, or hey, maybe we do it. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll keep it going.
Keep it going somehow. Blay, I know you're listening. Maybe Ambition does it. I don't know. All right. Let's talk about Bleached. Let's get into it. So this was Sed. This was Matthias, Raph, T-Dan, Gui, and Morgan. Zach, I don't even know Morgan's last name.
Yeah, I wish I did too.
Well, sorry, Morgan. We were doing you a disservice, but
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, probably should. We should probably show him some respect. No, that was a fun little blessing we got this morning. Little 5-minute Ambition part, and the boys absolutely killed it. So good. But we've been waiting a long time for Snowskate content. We got Gazpacho last year. We haven't really had a full-length release since the previous Ambition video. So this is fun. I'm excited to see what the final product looks like. It's pretty cool that it's coming out in this episodic format. Just being a diehard Snowskate fan, I'm excited to see the final product in one full length, but to maximize the viewership and hype around this, I think it's cool that they're doing the episodic thing. So Zach, how do you feel about it? Did you have any input in this?
I did. When he came to me asking what we should do in general, I mean, this is a topic of discussion every single time we're releasing a video. It's do we release another full length? We've done countless amounts of them since 2009. And in the past, though, we've also released it in installments too. Solstice was released part by part, not even this is kind of a little bit more condensed, but that was straight up just part by part. And honestly, I don't think that went very well. It turned out that Encore got more traction as a full length. Sava has the most traction as a full length. Mm-hmm. So it was like, well, obviously part by part's out. But I think we should still try to stretch it out because, like you were just saying, Snowskate content is so scarce. And then we're talking about dividing it up by location too. So it's like, these are kind of the new blood newcomers from Quebec. After this will be another part. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Probably doesn't matter. But there'll be another Canada segment with some of the more OG dudes like COSD, Phil Moreau, Jensen. And then later on going on to a US part involving, like Dave and Josh and some other people. So I thought that was just the best approach. And we knew we were going to be getting some help this year from the barracks. And we knew since last year our Instagram kind of blew up a lot more. We're like, we should go back, I think, and try the segments and try to stretch it out, provide the content. And, like you said, it's kind of exciting to have something to look forward to instead of dropping it all at once. Then you got to take in consideration attention spans and Instagram and blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot that goes into it, even though it doesn't seem like it would. But yeah, so we just kind of thought this was the best way to present it. Thoughts on that? Do you guys think it's a good way? Or are you kind of like, damn, I wish I could watch a full length,
Yes.
I like it. I think I'm actually kind of liking this push towards this different thing. And I guess it'll be good I think we have enough, like you just mentioned, I think we have enough data on how full length releases go. I think trying something new is kind of a cool idea. Also, I got a comment on the name. I think it'll be good. Maybe draw in some of the anime fans. We'll see if that works out.
Wait, what do you mean by that? So I could tell you the origin of the name too, if you'd like.
Okay.
Oh, please do. I thought
I was curious about that.
It's going to be so boring when you guys hear it. Go ahead though, Andrew.
Well, there's just an anime called Bleached, so I was like,
okay.
Please enlighten us, Zach. I think that's,
mine's actually more boring than more cut and dry than what you even just like. All right. So when I was filming my part for this video, I was like gung ho on just the presentation of it. It was kind of like conceptual to an extent. I was just losing my mind pretty much, and so I wanted to edit my own part. I tried a bunch of different songs, and when I was sending him different edits, one of the songs was literally just called Bleached, which I'm probably going to end up using. But Blay didn't know that, so when I was sending him these YouTube edits, he was just thought I named my part Bleached, and he was like, "Dude, like that'd be kind of cool for the whole video." And I was like, "I didn't name my part that." I'm like, "That's just literally the name of the song I was using." And he's like, "Oh, well, that'll work." So that's he's like, "Well, that's still like pretty cool, He's like, like Bleach, you think of white snow. I was like, "That's true, but there's really not a lot of underlying meaning other than it just kind of came from literally the song that's I think going to be used in my part." So that's it.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's a catchy little name. I like it.
Yeah. I
probably just ruined the element of like anything cool about it. Now you just know it's really like not thought out at all. But
no, I mean, I appreciate knowing that sort of stuff. And I mean, it's just a name at the end of the day, right? Like it's something to identify the video. And I mean, the little video that I'm going to put out, what was the origin of that name? It's us playing pinball on Marquette. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever. It's a name. It sticks. It's cool for what it is. And, that's that. So,
yeah, but that at least has like a little bit of personality to it or something that came from, like your experience and what we were doing too, just like playing that pinball game. Like, all the skate videos I ever made came from quotes of my friends. Bleached is just a song name. It's all good. I actually like the name too. I think Bleach is a cool name.
Yeah, I like it.
So I'm not knocking it. It's just, it didn't really have any kind of crazy meaning to it.
Sure. Let's jump into some clips. What were your guys' favorite clips in the video? Zach?
I feel like everyone's going to say this, and it's not like an intense, crazy banger of a clip. It's just unique. I love Dan's board slide hippie jump on like that rail down the stairs, like a little like more like a flat bar than not a handrail. That trick is so sick. That's like the one that just keeps sticking out in my mind for some reason. But that's just right up my alley.
Totally. No, I felt the same way. I watched it this morning right when it came out, and I was just yelling on my couch when he did that. I was so stoked because I thought he was like falling. Like he started on one side of the rail and then kind of moved over to the other. I was like, oh, he's kind of losing it, and then just hippie jump out of nowhere. And it made me like thinking about after watching the video and thinking about snow skating prior to this podcast. I realized what I'm really into is being surprised in a video, right? Like there was no way to see that coming just for I don't know, it's just a unique trick that nobody does. And also the way that, presumably Blade filmed it, I assume Blade filmed it. You just had no idea what was coming or what was coming next, So I just thought that was so cool. I was freaking out. I loved it. I thought it was great. So cool. Andrew, did you have a favorite clip?
That was one for sure. I mean, it's just in terms of never seeing it before. The car tow-in, I know we were going to talk about that. That was pretty sick. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I was surprised too the car stopped in time, because part of me was like, that car is going to just go. If the parking lot was too snowy, I wonder if that was like a concern in filming. But
yeah,
just speeding up towards that ledge. I mean, the clip was sick, so I mean, I liked that a lot. But yeah, maybe that's just like getting older.
No, that was one of my standouts too. And Zach, you're the historian. I wanted to ask you, has anybody done that on a snow skate before?
That's what I was going to say. I'm glad you brought it up, Andrew, because I was pointing out the other day when we were watching it, me and Danny, we had our hands on a copy early. We were watching it, and I was like, I think that's the first time that anyone's ever got towed into an actual spot. I'm sure everyone's been, like sketching on a car, or you got towed in, or like, they're playing in their backyard or getting whipped around. But I don't think anyone's actually got towed into a spot or needed it. So that was really cool. That might have been the snow skating first.
Yeah, well, I know Alan got pulled in on that like extreme grip trip in Alaska, and like I think it was like 2013 or something. He got pulled in on a snowmobile for that giant like telephone pole jam type of thing. But and I'm sure it's happened more frequently on snowmobiles. True Color. What clip was that?
True Color. There's that obstacle with the big wooden, like it looks like a big splinter almost. They like propped up. Phil does, I think, 50 back 180, like and 2 ramps on each side. He gets towed in too, but I think it's a 4-wheeler actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not a car.
Yeah, no cars though. That was crazy. I felt like I was watching like Stay Gold when they were all hitting that like up flat down rail. You know what I mean? And all getting pulled in on the cars. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. And I had the same thought as you, Andrew, too. I was like, dang, it's actually kind of sketchy to like slam on the brakes and it's coming up on that barrier or whatever. Like, I don't know. I thought that clip was so sick. My personal favorite clip, and this is just, snow skate nostalgia, but Gui going, somebody could die tonight. And then he like jumps on that ledge. It looks like I don't know if he was trying body varial or shove or what it was. And then just dives head first down the stairs. Right.
I think he was just trying front board.
Oh, really?
I saw the raw clips and he was like getting in them. And then I think maybe he was trying to bail, and that's why he kind of does the body varial thing. And I could be wrong too. Maybe he was trying that, but I think he was just trying to bail out of it. And dude, that slam is sick, though.
Yeah, the slam was so good. I mean, the OG alien snow skate quote. He's wearing the Compton hat. Like the whole thing was so sick. That was my favorite. I was so hyped. Shout out to Gui, man. That footage was sick.
Isn't that funny how you're like, man, what was your favorite clip in the video? You're like, oh, probably that slam.
Yeah.
But it just shows that personality goes a long way, Totally. Things like that really add to it. And before we even started recording, Andrew had pointed out, like, he's like, I feel like there was a lot more like slams in this, you know what I'm saying? Like the war perspective of showing like how hard some of these tricks are, which I actually enjoyed a lot, all the slams.
Yeah,
totally.
Me too.
Totally.
Yeah, also I think a fashion first, I don't remember whose ender it was with the just the base layer and the pants. Do you remember who that was? I can't remember.
No, I don't.
There was that clip of Raph where he does the back foot flip down like that famous Montreal gap. It's like a big block, flat, then some stairs. And you're right, he's got like the Under Armour layer, but like, that's the kit.
Bonkers trick too. Oh my!
That was sick. I like that clip.
That was wild. Well, we've already covered 3 of the 5 clips that I wrote down. That overcrook was nuts. I thought Dave was the only person who could do those, and man, I didn't think those were possible in the first place. That was wild.
I mean, Josh Oakes has a nice one too, and Alan's done one on a handrail back in the day too, not to be forgotten. But his was like weirdly on the tip, like definitely from maybe it was the angle that Blay filmed it from, but that was like, I don't even know how he stayed on it. And I mean that like in a good way. It's amazing.
Yeah, totally. Like maybe you can lock into it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but yeah, he like really propped it up, like really got into a crook, almost nose blunt style thing. That's just insane on a handrail. Like it makes no sense to me. It was so sick. And
he was
then,
like on the corner of the nose. Honestly, I think that would maybe be my favorite trick in his part. Just like, obviously it's been done before, but it's like that one was like a whole new level of it, in my opinion. And I don't know. I wish I could almost see more angles of it so I could understand what the hell was going on, because it's pretty wild how he's like such little surface of his board is on that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. That was wild.
I wanted to talk about a little bit of the production value that went into it too, because we saw a lot more of the kind of Super 8, the atmosphere of the video. More of the war stuff for sure, more of the Super 8 clips. It just had a really good pace to it. It didn't really feel like it was just like part intro. It was really had a good flow. Really props to probably Blay who edited it, And I think the format too, I like the idea of because it really lets you focus on the tricks more, not as a full release. And I like kind of just grouping snow skaters, I mean, regionally, I guess you could say, and looking forward to the next episodes for sure that kind of try this new format. I think that's really cool.
Totally. Yeah. It was a little montage style thing instead of just the cut and dry parts and releasing them part by part, like you were talking about, Zach. And I mean, I'm just super excited to see the next episodes as they come out. But I thought it worked very well. It was very pleasing to watch. And I mean, the trend in skateboarding and snow skating is more montage style versus just, part type of thing. So, but I mean, I'm in favor of that. I think it works super well, and I absolutely loved watching it. And I mean, I think the replay value is improved, honestly. Like, I went back and watched Gazpacho a ton because it was kind of a similar vibe, right? It was just fun. All the skaters were kind of all mashed together doing their thing, and just some nonsense kind of thrown in, some falls. And it was great. I loved it.
I should point out, though, this video will be a full length at the end. So kind of like with Solstice, he is going to put it all together. It might not be in the order we watch it in. He might actually move some stuff around. But he is going to take everything at the end of the day, put it together, and keep it as one full length on, I'm guessing, YouTube or wherever. Cool. But cool. So it'll still be another full length.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on it briefly because I think it was maybe it's just because it is a Quebecers group, and it had a lot of vibes of the kind of the early Quebecers scene. Like, maybe it's just seeing the spots again, because there was a lot of spots that we had seen before and new stuff down it, which I think was cool. And I think it's interesting regionally to see it done like that, because I think when you see clips from your Keizu trips or whatever, I think there's just a certain vibe that goes with snow skating in different areas that I'm excited, maybe looking forward to more, seeing how this grouping stuff works, because I really liked the whole kind of vibe of the video like we were talking about. But
yeah, and I think we'll see that the other segments have a different feeling to them too. I knew he wanted to kind of present this maybe more in a modern fashion, or at least that's how it felt to me anyway. Seeing it definitely felt more modern, and they are the younger crews, they are more the younger crew coming up right now. Definitely we had never even seen Morgan or Raph at all until this video, and it's who the fuck are these guys? They're insane already. Yeah. As far as I know, too, that was Raph's first year ever snow skating. He's from Belgium, I think, and he had moved to Canada. And I don't know if Morgan had snow skated in the past, but if that was his first year and he kickflipped back 50 to handrail, I mean, what the hell am I doing? I've been snow skating for 15 years. Those dudes are insane.
Yeah, it's we haven't seen anybody start snow skating and be really good since Dave. I think we've talked about this in previous podcasts, but I mean, it hasn't happened in 10 years.
Yeah, came out swinging for sure, dude. I would like to also point out Sed. I'm just so grateful that we got more clips from him in the past. I guess he was really only an encore, and I guess that's it. And I've snow skated with him a couple of times in person, skateboarded with him, and if you know the kid, he's amazing and his style is phenomenal. So I've always been man, get that fucking kid out there, get some more clips of him, please. So it was cool that to see it delivered now, and he had a good amount of clips in that video, and every single one was awesome. I'm a huge fan of Sed.
Yeah, totally.
Also, trivia side note, they're for a one scene, they're skateboarding in the streets, and I was gonna say, has not been done. Then I mean, is there an Ambition video where they're skateboarding in it?
That's definitely happened in premiere videos.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, yeah, maybe that was really common in early premiere videos. Was just to fill, like, I think Max Hilty's first part, I think it is like half skateboarding, half snow skating, which you don't. So I don't know.
That's
the
true.
Blake Lamb thing, half skateboarding, half snowboarding.
Yeah. They would throw in that in the old days, but yeah, that I thought was interesting. So
yeah, that's cool.
Did you
upcoming videos? Unless we have anything more to discuss on Bleached episode 1.
You said you had 5 tricks listed. We covered 3. What were the other 2? Did I miss that?
We got them all.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing I'd like to add, actually, kind of going back on, like, you get to see these these old spots from previous videos be like brought back into the light. There's that 10 stair. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That Dan did tray flip down.
Yeah. Yep.
That had been like previously hit by even like Dave, the handrail, COSD. I think Varial healed it. I mean, that one's been a long time coming, but no one tray flipped it yet. And shout out to Dan, because just a little insight, he's been having like bad knee problems. I knew last year, like Alex was telling me that he would maybe snow skate 1 time a week, and he'd just have to wait until like another week because his knee would be so bad. So I expected his clips to be maybe less impact, but then it's him getting towed in by a car, jumping over a fence, tray flipping a 10 stair. It's him hard flipping that big Montreal gap. I'm like, I thought he was hurt. I was like, what the hell? This dude's nuts. Those are some of his best clips too. Oh, that front shove down that gap too. That thing was like overhead tall. It was fucking huge.
Yeah, that thing was enormous.
I don't know. All around, I loved that section. And the future looks bright for snow skaters as long as these dudes stick with it.
Totally. I'm already excited to rewatch that. It was great.
Wait, my one complaint. I got one. Not enough Matthias clips, man. I love his style. If we could get more Matthias, I guess. If he ever listens to this, know that I need more. Big fan.
He's killing it in the tattoo game, though, it looks like. Good for him. Good for the boy.
He is. And he's been skateboarding a lot more, too, in like the past couple months. I noticed. I feel like he was more catering to the tattoo side, but lately he's been like on his story, posting some really sick skateboarding.
Yeah, he's been killing it. Hopefully Montreal gets some good snow and get some clips out of him this year.
Yeah, maybe we can get him on a trip.
Oh, it'd be so sick. So 2 more episodes of Bleached, you're saying, Zach? Rest of Canada, Greater Canada, not up-and-comer Canadians, and then U.S. for the 3rd section?
Yep.
Cool. Oh, I'm so stoked for that. And then Alan's project, which I still don't know how to refer to that or what to call it, but the Death of Hot Dish project, I guess.
Last year, I think he was saying Hot Dish is dead, I think, or something.
Yeah, something like that. So the remaining Hot Dish footy and then the footage that's happened since then from the folks associated with Hot Dish. And I am so excited for that project to come out as well. That's going to be some great footage because, I mean, they've been sitting on footage since Hot Dish, and that was late 2017. So it's a lot of time to stack some content.
I think he was going to premiere it last year and then the pandemic, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if he was going to premiere it, but that probably did delay things. Yeah.
I vaguely remember like him saying an option was to do it at Midwest Open or something, and that would have been sick, but then like we didn't do it. So like, I don't know. Yeah.
So still TBD as to when that one's going to drop. But man, I am so stoked to see that footage, and I think you guys will be hyped too. I haven't seen much of it, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good.
Can we talk about even who's in it? Like, is that even something that we can talk about yet?
Yeah. So it'll be Alan. It'll be Andy Berman. Me.
John Shanahan will probably have some stuff.
That's who I wanted to talk about too. I think he'll have. I thought I remember hearing that he had some clips in it.
Yep. Adrian Rasmussen, he might have a little bit in there too, and then I think there'll be maybe 1 or 2 surprises, a couple other stragglers in there, and it'll be.
Do you have anything, Eric, or what?
Yeah, I got some footage for it.
No. All right, bro.
Maybe a couple
so fucking humble.
See? We'll see what happens. I'm hyped though. How many times?
I'm more hyped for
this episode already. Like 20 already.
Dude, that's funny because last week snow skating like wasn't even on your radar. I'm like, dude, let's do the fucking podcast. The hype's already here, but I've already been around snow for like a month. So I'm like, dude, everyone's gonna hate snow skating in like a month when they realize how hard it is. You got to do the podcast now. Get the hype going.
And I'm not even joking. This was a week ago when you texted me to like start talking about this. And I had not thought about snow skating. And, now that the boards came and actually snow skated, like all that hype just caught up. And now I'm just fucking stoked.
I will say honestly that the hot dish video that was released now, like 3 years ago or so, that's actually one of my favorite Snowskate videos released in the past like 10 years. I fucking love it. And that is kind of like a small, concise video like Bleached is. What is it? It's like maybe 8-9 minutes or something.
It's only like 6.
6? That video is fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. I love it. If
you haven't seen it, go back and rewatch it. It's so good. Editing is killer. Amazing footage. Yeah.
Great soundtrack. Awesome. That's like my favorite edit.
Yeah, it's so good.
Big time.
I think there's something to be said about the team diversity. Like, I like that Shannon. I like Andy. I think I'm more excited for Andy's clips because, I mean, we've seen what he can do at the Midwest. I've seen what he could do. If you go back in his YouTube, you can see his bi-deck clips from his backyard. And that kid's just crazy. I mean, we've skated with him a lot at Midwest, and that's like, you know, I would love to see a full part. I cannot wait for that. Shout out to him.
Even what he put on Instagram, just to like today, I think it was that little video edit that he made, and him just launching and doing that melon grab. Like, dude, he goes so big. It's so effortless. Like I don't understand how he sets up spots, but I can't skate the spots that he skates. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he is. He's talented.
I don't think enough people know. Footage. Yeah. Not enough people know about Andy, dude.
Yeah.
He's actually incredible.
People are going to know, but they don't know yet.
I know. I'm excited. I think that's why I'm so excited for that video, is just to finally see this like long coming Andy stuff that we knew he is more than capable of, but yet to see. So
totally
very eager for that.
Shout out to him too. Won the Midwest Open 2019 that year.
2020?
Was it 2020? No.
It was 2020, right before the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yep. Yeah, it was beginning of 2020. That's right.
Yeah, February 2020.
That's right. I was a judge. I should have known that.
Yeah, that was a hot dish podium that year. It was, it was Andy, me, Alan that year.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's right. Because as we know, Zach, Dave, and Josh, technique is always land your tricks in warm up and don't land them in your heat. That's the way to do it.
Classic strategy.
Classic. Every year.
Oh, stoked for Midwest this year. Hopefully Phil announces a date sooner rather than later, but we will see.
Yeah, we'll see.
New products that came out. So a couple new things to discuss. First of all, the Prism grip, Ambition making its own grip. So most of us are no longer getting grip through Grip All. I think they're still doing their thing with Tundra Grip though, correct? From what you guys have heard? I don't know. I'm assuming
I really have doing their thing. I have like no contact with them. I noticed that
I don't either.
Their site is still up. So, and they're still selling products, and some other websites that carry our products, like other online retailers, still have Tundra Grip. But I don't know if it's like leftover stock or it's new stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really don't know what's up with them, but yeah, I mean, I only got to ride the Prism for a little bit on Saturday. Zach, I don't know if you have more time in it, but my initial impressions is, I mean, it seemed good first and foremost, but it seemed like a cross between the OG Extreme Grip, the covered studs, and then Tundra, which was, a lot of people said was too aggressive. It's synthetic. There's no metal. I shouldn't say synthetic, but there is no metal. I don't know what the material is. And I don't even know what you want to call them. The studs, they're the plastic things, the nipples or whatever, are nowhere near as tall or as aggressive as the Tundra Grip. So, Zach, I don't know if you have experience on it so far.
Nope.
Okay.
I've been snow skating for a month, but I just got my boards like a week ago, and I've just been way too lazy to set one up. For the last week, I've just been using old boards because I really hate gripping snow skates. But yeah, I noticed that too. It's a little. It was meant to be kind of like in between. That was the whole goal, from what I understand. And it's an injected polyurethane. If anyone gives a damn. But I realize that too. I think it is a little less aggressive. But even if it was too aggressive still, and this could be said of Tundra too, you can always snip the tips off. Maybe we've talked about that on the podcast before, but that's definitely a nice little move if you find it to be too grippy. But then one day the conditions will be shitty and you'll wish you had that extra grip. So it's that's why you just have to set up like 4 boards, honestly.
I've been trying to preach.
I carry 3 to every session for that reason.
Dude, I went out with, I think, 6 this weekend.
Okay.
just unnecessary.
Oh, yes.
I destroyed 1, so that was good. And then the Jib series. Yeah, I tried a trick on a board eater spot, and the spot ate my board. So that board's done.
Was it an old one, I'd hope? Jeez.
Yeah, it was an old one. It wasn't one of the new ones. I wouldn't do that to you, Blake. Appreciate you, bud.
That's fair.
And the Jib series. So Ambition came out with a plastic, the first plastic made in a long time, because I'm not really counting the premieres that may have been made the last few years. I don't even know. But it actually is a reasonable shape. Actually, I mean, Ambition's marketing it as an entry-level snow skate. It is still pretty flexible, still plastic snow skate, much lower price point, but you can actually do stuff on it. It's pretty cool. And I admittedly haven't rode it a ton, but my initial impressions are like, you can actually do snow skate stuff on this, which is not something that you could say from previous plastics. Andrew, Zach, you guys got time on them yet?
Oh, it was so nostalgic getting it. And I know you're psyched. The colors I like. The colors are really classic. It's a different.
White, so I'm stoked.
Yeah. So what I know about it technically from Phil is that it's a different. It's not like it's a harder plastic and it's more malleable when it's inside, and when it's cold, it holds its shape better, which you notice right away. You can actually do stuff on it. I think it's about the same size as the smallest shape of the wooden board, I think.
Yeah,
so
it's 8.5 by 32.5.
It's not like the old Premier first run plastics that are like 7.5 by like 32. No, they were short. The ones
I'm making a Danger Girl joke. Sorry.
Oh man, but yeah, no, that was actually like a reasonable size. I feel like a kid could still ride it and be comfortable on it, but like I could still ride it. So I mean, it's really kind of the best of both worlds. It's just nostalgic for me. And then we got in an argument too. I wanted to bring this up because you put extreme grip on yours, and I am riding mine like a purist with no extreme grip. That is
the way.
The OG way that you did it back in the day. Or maybe I'll cut out like the bottom of an office chair mat with the spikes.
Yeah.
do some old something old school like that, just for fun. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to bring to a session. Like honestly, I hope we start seeing people that do that and just get a clip on this. Even doesn't have to be like something crazy, but just to get a clip on a plastic, I think would be.
I want to get a clip on one so bad.
We've been doing it.
That's sick.
We're stockpiling right now.
That's
love
awesome.
it.
We were like, Blay, if you send Dan and I a jib board, like we'll definitely film clips on it. And Dan, dude, I've watched him already do a bunch of stuff on it. I've seen him tray flip it and stuff. Like
that's awesome.
It worked.
Wow.
It's definitely the best plastic board I've ever ridden, and it's the fastest one, hands down.
Yeah,
but man, it's still hard to ride.
It is. Yeah, when I first went out and threw mine down, this was, it was fresh snowfall, not great snow conditions. I didn't have the extreme grip on it yet. And the combination of no grip and it being warm from like sitting inside my house, so it was like super flexible. I'm like, oh boy, this is definitely a plastic snow skate we got here. And then once I got grip on it, I left it in my car and I rode it this weekend, and it stiffened up a little bit. The pop got a little better, and of course extreme grip helps everything. So it's like, okay, now you can actually ride it. So if you're having issues, definitely throw a little grip on there, let it sit out in the cold, let it stiffen up a little bit. And Zach, you were saying you could actually shape them a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys were kind of already touching on it, but yeah, if you bring it inside, and as we were saying, they're more malleable. So if you just take, like, let's say you're like, oh, this nose and this tail are way too steep. Like, I saw a lot of that in the comments, like, yo, these kicks are crazy, like the old Premiere ones, like, what the hell? But yeah, if you go inside and bend them down a little bit and then stick it in the cold, it'll stiffen like that. So you can kind of adjust it. It's kind of nice to have like your own preference on it. I don't know any other boards where you can mold it, so kind of cool. And they're made from the same material as the Revolution. I'm pretty sure it's what is that?
Interesting.
DPE, is that what it is? Yeah. So that they are fast for sure.
Yeah. I just wish they made them in like 36 by 9, but I also acknowledge that I'm not the target market for the snow skate.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I really think it will serve as a good introductory board for people just like looking to understand riding, or maybe they're just in their backyard. They're not taking it too seriously. But that was a big hesitation for us for so many years. This has been a topic of conversation within Ambition for like maybe 5-6 years. I mean, we've always seen it as an option. We knew it could be something we could do for a cheaper price point. I mean, a lot of times retailers would turn away Ambition because they're like, well, we're not buying these boards. They're way too expensive. They won't sell. And so even with that, we lost out on a lot of, potential revenue, but we didn't want to sacrifice quality. We want to be known as some sellout stuff. We don't want to we work so hard to gain a reputation as making these legitimate boards. We don't want to jeopardize that by making a plastic board that just sucks. So that's why it took so long to really come into light and make an actual board. So we wanted a plastic board that was actually going to be solid. We didn't want to just make something for the sake of making it. And I know Blay is pretty happy with the results. I'm pretty surprised with how fast they are. But again, it's all about making that distinction and marketing it as a beginner board. We don't want, everyone who DMs me on Instagram, on the Ambition Instagram, I'll look at their page, and if they're a good skateboarder, I'm like, hey, I'd probably steer clear of the jib board. I think you have, experience to try something else, enough skateboarding background to try a better board. So we really do try to make sure it's well known that the board is meant for beginners. But that's not going to stop me from hitting a handrail on one this year. I'm going to do it for sure.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And I was just looking at the
I also want to. Sorry, go ahead.
I just looked at the price point because it is significant. I mean, the jibs are 105 CAD, and the pro models that we ride are 185. So I mean, that's almost half the price. Like if you're a kid trying to get into snow skating, you want something decent, but you don't want to drop. Especially if you're in Canada and you're trying to buy grip, call it $230 or something before tax or whatever. That's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I wanted to add too. I think maybe Zach can expand on this a little bit, but they're made in Canada, right? So there's feasibly like you won't have. I mean, is it going to be the kind of thing where there's not going to be like supply issues like with wood boards, because it could potentially be, and then like the graphics won't change. It's just about color, and they're done locally. So like, is it going to be the kind of thing where like you could just potentially just keep making runs through a season if they start selling? Like,
so don't quote me on this. I might be wrong, but I think the reason there are supply issues anyway is kind of like what Andrew was just saying. Obviously, materials and things like that are a big factor. And I think it is easier and quicker to make jib boards. So I think that there'll be less of an issue with the supply of the jib boards at least. But it's not to say that there wouldn't be any at all, because when Ambition makes boards through Control Manufacturing, it's kind of like, I think it's like a seasonal thing, because they also make skateboards there. So they can't, I believe it's that, and again, if I'm wrong here, I'm sorry, but I think they can only like book so much time there. Like that manufacturing plant is used for other things. They can't just be like, hey, you're only going to make snow skates now. Like they have other business to do. So I think that's why they can only make so many boards in this much time span. And that's why, I mean, this year still we made more boards than ever, and yet they were sold out again pretty much immediately. If you don't count all the shops and stuff. I mean, you can still find them in different shops and retailers and whatever else. But yeah, I think that's why there is such an issue with supply and demand at the moment, at least partly why.
Zach, I just can't wait to see you hit a handrail on that thing this year. I'm holding you to that.
Dude, I'll fucking do it for sure. I was literally like, you send me that, like, I mean, you got to think about it. COSD used to pull some wild shit on a plastic Premiere, and I think I heard this from Blay, not directly from COSD, but he said COSD said that's the best plastic board he ever ridden, was the new jib boards. So if that's coming from the Plastic Magician, then like that's a great way to vouch for a product. I mean, he's like, this is the best. So I'm like, okay, that dude used to get down on it. If I can't hit a handrail on this jib board, like, what am I?
Anyone listening right now, last thing before we break, Too Legit to Quit, if that's still out anywhere and you're thinking about getting a plastic board, go look up that video.
Yes.
It'll open your mind a little bit.
Was there one called, and then there's Plastic Addiction?
Plastic Addiction. That one? Yeah, that's a great part.
That's another great classic.
All right, we got to drop for a Zoom break, boys, because I'm still too cheap to pay for a license. But we will be coming back shortly with listener questions and a new segment. We have a trivia section, so we'll be back shortly. All right, we are back with a new segment, a trivia segment. This is hosted by Zach, so I have no idea what this is going to look like or what you're planning, Zach, so take it away.
I don't really have anything planned. You made it You just pass that off to me like I'm like gonna come in like a game show host and like with those like tiny microphone and start like with a different voice.
What I was hoping for, honestly.
I really don't have much. I was just saying we could add a new segment. I know Eric needs brushing up on his Snowskate history.
I really do. I'm about to get exposed here.
Yeah, and I think you will. I think Andrew has a pretty damn solid background, but I think Eric needs a little help. So for the sake of him, and maybe if any listeners find it interesting, I was like, why don't we do some trivia? We also threw out the idea of a Jeopardy episode, which may or may not happen. I'm hoping it will. Maybe I already made the whole game. Maybe it has to now. But that's a little later on down the line. And hopefully we'll have a guest if we do that too. That'll be fun. We can put you guys all against each other, watch Eric get smoked.
Anything before 2009, oh man, it's not going to be good.
Ah, you're fucked then, dude. All right. Before we get into this is really irrelevant. Hey, Andrew, what was your name on the Premiere forums? I was trying to think of it today while doing the dishes. That's what I do when I do the dishes. I think about things like that.
Jesus Christ. I think it might be the same as my YouTube. It might be Vitamins 3.
Yes, it is. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's it. I was like Voltron. I knew it was a V. Sick. All right, that's
when
it.
I was like, when it was cool to be on IM Instant Messenger or whatever for all you Zoomers out there. Back in my day, things were a little different. I went to a website because I couldn't think of like a cool one, so I went to a random word generator website, and Vitamins was the first thing that popped up, and I like that because Justin Majetsky's thing was variant 3, so it's like Vitamins 3 is like.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
I never knew that either. That's such
a weird one.
That's similar to the awkward origination, though. I mean, they just opened a dictionary and pointed their finger, and it was awkward, and then they just fucked up the spelling, and that's how awkward came to be awkward.
Yeah,
well, they didn't flip very far into that dictionary. That's awesome. I never knew where your name came from either. I thought maybe you just loved like GNC, or maybe you're super into health benefits. I don't know. All right, that was irrelevant. So yeah, the trivia is going great so far. Honestly, I was thinking for this one maybe we'll get something a little more smoother going. But we were talking about for this segment just doing 5 questions today. We'll give you both 20 seconds to write down an answer and present it to the webcam. Whoever wins, I guess, can chug a drink. Whoever loses can chug their drink. So that's Eric. I know he likes that when he has work in the morning. So
yeah, I'm not chugging this pint. I'm sorry, boys.
Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna arrange these also, or we're gonna go from easiest to hardest today. So 5 questions again. We'll go easiest first. So whenever you guys are ready to think, let's get into it. Okay. And if you want to ask me to repeat the question, feel free.
Okay.
Cool. Here we go. First question. This Premiere rider from the Aspen, Colorado area received their first pro model in 2005. Who was it? Should I be timing this shit? Where's my phone? Oh, yeah, I'm reading off.
I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Good. You guys are both good?
Yep.
All right.
Ready?
Who wants to show it first?
Max Hilty.
Yep. That's all
right. Chalk up a point for both of y'all. I would hope you would get that.
Me too.
Legendary Max Hilty. Yes. Here's a fun bonus question. Could you tell me what his first graphic was? Maybe Andrew could.
Oh, yeah. The eye. Was it the eye one?
You're close. I think that was the year after.
It was the. Was
sure?
it the? It was a car, wasn't it?
Nope.
Fuck.
It wasn't the one with the blue like bubble text near the tail. That wasn't his first one.
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay.
There was one before it. I don't remember.
There was one more before that. That was the next year, though.
Mm-hmm. God, I don't remember.
Well, sucks for you guys. All right, let's keep going. I'm kidding. No, it was actually a spider. It was like red. Do you guys remember this? It was like a gray and red graphic with a spider on the bottom. That was an 0506 board, I'm pretty sure, and I think that was his first model.
You said red, and I was thinking the red sports car one. That's why I have my wires crossed. Yeah. Okay. No. I remember that now.
All right. Moving on. You guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
This one should be really easy, but it might trip you up just like thinking about it too hard. But can you name the 3 variants of Extreme Grip? That kind of might be wrong. when I say that out loud, because one of them, I guess the third one got renamed in a sense, if that helps you out.
I don't know if I have the names right, but I think I got it.
Damn, I hope I'm not forgetting some. I'll look like a fucking chump. I'm trying to think now if I'm forgetting any. I'm thinking there's only 3 ever, but...
That's what I got.
Yeah. Covered, exposed, and then tundra.
Sure. What does yours say, though? Let's say studded. What's the second one?
Normal.
Normal, studded,
I guess
tundra.
cover.
You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little more.
Yeah, we'll cross that one out. I'll take a deduction on that one. I forgot.
Well, what did you mean when you said studded? I'm guessing normal would be
the exposed. The okay. So the first, I've had all of the varieties. I forget the kind with the metal exposed, right?
Yeah.
And the covered, and then the extreme is the tundra, right? Yeah.
We're gonna give it to you.
Yeah. This stuff.
I'm gonna give it to you. You knew what you're talking about. Yeah, that's exposed.
That's the one.
And then there's obviously the OG.
We'll go cover. Covered, I guess is a better way to say it.
Right. I've always heard of it as, in technical terms, exposed, unexposed, and then tundra, which I guess maybe tundra isn't actually extreme grip. It's its own thing called tundra. So I don't know if it'd really be a variant. I could be wrong when I say that.
Yeah, because it's under Grip All is the brand and Extreme Grip is the product, right? And then Tundra was kind of its own product. So I knew what you were saying.
So yeah, maybe I should have said the 3 products by Grip All, but
yeah,
here we are. All right, so third question. This one, I put this in the middle, but honestly, it's kind of a hard question. You're gonna have to run through a lot of options in your head, and if you want any kind of clarification after I read this, I would understand. So I'm gonna try to. There's gonna be a couple of keywords in here for you, and I'll point them out. So during the days in which all 3 were producing boards, very important, this was the only snow skater to ride for Premier, Ambition, and Icon throughout his career. Now, a keyword, during when they're actually producing boards. There's been other riders that rode for Ambition when it was an apparel company, and that's what I wanted to specify. But this rider rode for all 3 of them while they're actually rode their boards. So I'm going to start a timer on this one right now, though.
Oh my god!
Give you the extra time.
I have to think of the Icon team riders. That's the hard one. Oh my god! This is
someone we definitely all know, but it is hard to think about for sure.
No hints, Zach. No hints. Oh.
Everyone knows each other in snow skating.
Yeah, there's only 20 of us. Oh boy, I don't want to write someone down. I'm going to leave that one.
You're going to have to. You're going to leave it blank. Yeah, I think you should right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do we got? Pro. That is such a good answer, but it is not because he was never on Premiere. I remember thinking about that when I came up to it too. He was never on Premiere.
I was
Who do you have, Eric? I think
Bjorn, right?
It was Bjorn. That's correct.
Oh my god, you're right.
Wow,
how did I miss that?
That's a tough one. Did he have a pro model for Icon too?
Yeah, he did a graphic for one. Wait, didn't he? He did have a pro model.
I guess you could have threw him on Evolve too. I could have said he rode for Evolve, but that would have ruined it because he had a pro model for Evolve even. Too,
yeah, I remember that. I don't know if he ever had one for Icon though.
I don't either. I don't know if they. I don't even know if they had pro models. They just had like.
They had Matt.
They had a Matt Plays pro model.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, that's a good one.
And Josh Oak's pro model. Yeah, so they did. Right. That was a tough one.
He designed his own stuff. He made graphics and different boards and stuff, but I don't think he ever had a pro model on Icon.
Yeah, I think that's correct as well. God, I could do these all night. I love these.
That was a good one.
Right. I admittedly had way too much fun making these. I had to work during the day, and I was I just put it off for an hour and just made up 40 of these questions, if not more now. All right, let's move it on. Hell yeah. Let's move on. We're on 4, right? Yes, let's go. 4. All right. Whenever you're ready for it, guys.
Good. All
right. These 2 models were the only boards in Ambition history to have 5 grooves instead of 7. Whose were they? When I say whose, I guess I mean pros, obviously. I forgot to start the timer.
All right. Oh fuck! Wait, no. Hold on.
It's all right. You still got like 20 seconds.
They're pro models, right?
Yeah.
Do I get a hint on the year?
Mm-mm.
God, no. Because
So I'm gonna bring that up later. I'm gonna give a little background on it.
Okay. All right. I think I got it.
Give you 10 more seconds.
You good, Eric?
Yep.
All right. Go for it.
Correct.
Yep. Alan and Phil.
I guess that's yeah. I guess they were also the first people to ever even have pro models on Ambition, and this was the third year of them making boards. This would have been 2009, 2010. Also, even more to go into it, they were the first people to ever have a graphic. I guess you could say that was the first year in 2009, 10 that they started doing like the die cut A, and there was a blue one and a green one. Alan's green, Phil's blue. 5 grooves, and they never did it again. There's also a carbon fiber ply. I don't know if you remember that too.
I do remember that. I still have my Phil Smaggi in my garage, I think. And they had the graphics on the grip too, on the foam that just came off like instantly in the first session.
Yeah. Because they also made other die cuts that year. That was the year I started getting flow from them. So I have a red one, but that was 7. I had like a team board, but it still had a die cut. And mine was red, and they made a black one that was also a team board and also die cut. And then maybe that was it that year. I'm not really sure. Maybe they had a team board.
But did they do that the next year? Because I think it was the Phil Allen in 2009, 2010. And then the die cut red and black ones were the team boards the next year. And then they had the larger angle day. Or I'm wrong.
No, because if you watch Snowskate Aliens, a bunch of people like Josh Segea is riding the black and white die cut, but it's not a pro model. And those did have 7 grooves, not 5. So only the pro models had them that year.
Yep.
Fun little fact. All right, now we're going to move on to what I think would maybe be a kind of a hard one. I don't know. So whenever y'all are ready for this,
I can't believe I'm 4 for 4. Let's go.
Yeah, but when you get to the Jeopardy I made, it's a largely premiere based at times, and you might struggle a lot more. There's a couple in there that are like the hardest questions in there. I'm like, no one's even gonna get. I asked Blay one of them the other day, he didn't know it, so I was like, all right, these are gonna be fucking hard. All right. So before Icon, Matt Plays released videos under this production company.
My God, I remember it, but I don't remember it.
I'm starting a timer now. Why is this so fun for me? It's fucked up.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Like all this useless knowledge I'm like proud of. I'm like, yeah.
I feel like 60% sure on this one.
I'm going to give you guys 15 more seconds.
I don't have it.
Hard one.
I don't think I have it.
Oh, variant 3.
Can you name a production? Easier. What was the production that this was? It just like YouTube content?
No, they made a full length. I have it actually sitting on here. I think they made a full length called "Enjoy the View."
Oh my God! Yeah, I just watched that.
Do you have something written, Eric? Is that why you're sitting back?
I think I got it.
Okay. Oh, you got it.
I have something. I don't know if it's it.
I was just roasting you prior to this, but maybe you know more than I had assumed, actually.
I'm not
maybe I know more than I know. I thought I was going to blow this segment.
What does that say? Variant 3?
Yeah, it's not it.
That was Justin Majetski's production company, yeah.
Is it 89 days?
No, that's just the video they made.
Oh, fuck.
89 days. I don't know if it was under this production company or if it was the first Icon video.
I thought I remember seeing that like logo or a title in one of Matt Plays' X Games edits or something that he did under that. Oh, it was Retrospect Films, right?
There you go. I'm not going to give it to you, though. You already did it. You do not get it.
Oh, man. Okay.
But yeah, it was Retrospect Films. Damn, I'm impressed you would got that out of anyone, Eric. I feel like that was a little before your time.
Oh, it definitely was. I feel like I only know that just from doing research on like the Matt Plays episode, you know?
Awesome. Yep. Retrospect Films.
I forgot. Man. Yeah. I remember.
Good for street cred, but no point.
Yeah. 89 days came to me super quick, but I'm like, I don't know if that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Eric got one up on me.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Rick
fun.
Boy, you still won though by one.
Got it.
I am very surprised.
I love doing this. So
That was
All right,
great.
Andy,
I
chug
can't
that
wait for
drink
the
now.
Jeopardy. All right.
you don't have to do that.
it's water just chucked. Oh, gotcha.
It's just a full bottle. Oh, rips a shot though.
There you go. Respect.
Oh,
All right, that was
Shout out
fun.
to,
Looking forward to doing
Yeah,
it
that was
again.
good for me.
that
Good
one.
for morale.
All right, let's dive into listener questions. All right, should we start? Let's start at the bottom. Let's start at the beginning. All right, what would Jay do? Does it even snow anymore? Not really. I wish.
Man, that was a weird topic. Not that it's very relevant to this podcast, but when I lived downstate in Kalamazoo with Dave, we would have real winters for like the first 3 years we lived there, and then the next 3 I lived there, it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like global warming's real. Who would have thought? Anyways,
No,
Not
that
to
was
get
so
political.
sick in like the Sava days, man. It was tight.
right? Those winters
Yeah.
were fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
So I know where
I
Jay's
feel
coming
like
from.
yeah, I feel like our winters in Minnesota too, where we actually get snow, and then like this week it's gonna be 50 and rain, and like
Yeah.
Oh my- Right.
That
That's
thing used
even
to happen
worse.
here in December.
never. It's
Dude.
just crazy.
I snow skated today and it was 46 and I had a bad high.
Oh, I bet you did. That
It
sounds
sucked
miserable.
ass. I don't even know why I tried. All
I
right.
took the day off work today and I thought about snow skating and I saw it was like 37 and sunny. I'm like, no, no, we're not doing that. That doesn't sound
It
fun.
was colder there at least. We're supposed to rain here this week and we have like 2 feet right now and might all
Sick.
leave.
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Archie Skate Clips. Thoughts on Hovland's new larger single deck? So this is a loaded question. And we need to talk about Hovland before answering this question. Oh, we haven't addressed this on the podcast in the past. We've kind of skirted this one, but man, short answer.
I got it right.
Whack.
I'm looking at it right here, the shape, and I mean, yeah, it's. We were talking a little bit about it, and it's like the longboard of snow skating.
Let's talk about Hovland as a company before we talk about the board, because we need to preface this conversation.
Someone's gonna have to clarify when they say the new larger single deck. Is it that one shaped one I've seen before?
I assume that is talking about the cruiser single deck shape.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a fish. Just for anyone listening, it's like a fish shaped board, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like it'd be like a smaller POW surfer, basically.
yeah, but
Actually, how
Hovland
big
as
is
a
it?
company, man, I don't know. There's a reason that you don't see a lot of people filming on Hovlands and people in snow skating down with Hovland. And I want to be careful about this too. This is not just like, oh yeah, I ride for ambition, so I'm going to hate on the competitors. Like, it's not like that at all. Like, we're down with Icon. We always have been when they were a thing.
Yeah, we love Icon.
I shouldn't speak to Hot Dish, but it seemed like everybody on Ambition and in snow skating was stoked on Hot Dish at the time. But Hot Dish had a direction. Icon, had a direction and did stuff for snow skating. And at least in the single deck world, I'm not going to, I don't know enough about bidecking. I'm not going to go there, but they don't do anything. Like, they don't have a team. They don't produce content. I guess they make boards, but that's kind of it. Like, to me, they're in the same category as Premier the last, 10 years or so. Like, yeah, they made snow skates and you could buy a Premier snow skate and ride it. But other than that, what were they doing? Like, nothing, Like, yeah, I guess they have an Instagram account and they do some reposts or whatever. But, I guess everyone does that. But I'm not hating just to hate. But again, there's a reason that you don't see people stoked on Hovland and really buying their products other than, at least in the single deck world and out of necessity last year when you couldn't buy an Ambition, right? Like, do they have a team? Are they giving boards to anyone?
I want to give props to one dude that I think is involved with them, and I think he maybe officially would ride for their team, even though no one would know it because they don't really showcase him. But Josh Poe, who I don't know if he still works for Gripball at all, but that was who my prior contact was when I was getting grip through Gripball, was Josh. So I really do appreciate that dude, and he's a ripper.
Yes.
And he's put out footage where he rides Hovland, so I really respect that dude. But that just goes to show that I feel like they just kind of give him the short end of the stick too. This dude's like out there giving it his all, and he fucking rips. And then it's like, who even knows what I'm talking about right now when he deserves a lot more? Do they showcase him enough? Maybe I'm a little bit oblivious on this, but it feels like if that's your one rider out there fucking doing it, you should showcase him because he rips. and he's a good dude from what I know, and all my experiences with him have been awesome. So I want to give that guy props at least.
And I second that too. I mean, he was my contact at Gripball when I was talking to them. He was awesome. He hooked me up. Dude. He's a ripper. He's great. But yeah, I agree with you. Short end of the stick is a good way of summarizing it. Like, what are they doing for that dude who's out there killing and riding their boards? Like, to my knowledge, nothing. And I feel like there's not many people, well, better walk that back a little bit. But I feel like we're pretty connected in snow skating, and we have no idea what they're doing and no knowledge of them hooking anybody up or doing anything for anyone. So I don't know. Zach, do you have any further comments on this?
I mean, nothing more really than you had just said. I mean, I feel like they don't really give back to snow skating much, so it's hard for me to jump on board and be really into it. Where again, when you talked about companies like Hot Dish, or you talked about companies like Icon, for example, I mean, they're putting on snow skate contests, snow skate events, like the Go Snow Skate Day, putting out full lengths. They're supporting their riders as best they could, and that's why, like, when we say it's not just hating on a competitor, you know, we all loved Icon. The fact that they went in on hiatus really bummed me out, but I get where they're coming from. It's hard. Yeah. But and kind of like you said, it's like we see Hovland now, but I just wonder what their real motive is. I wonder what their intentions are, and I wonder if, you know, I feel like I see Icon again go on this hiatus, and I feel like they should still be around. If anything, it's unfortunate to see maybe like a company like this seen as more of a cash grab.
Totally. And yeah, I mean,
at least that's how it feels. I could be wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe there's something in the works that we have no idea about. Maybe they are putting together a team, or maybe they are filming for something. I have no idea, but to our knowledge, you know, that's not happening. And I'd love to see it if it's a thing, but yeah, I just love to see them do something for snow skating other than sell boards.
Well, the thing I was going to point out is that I think they're a buy deck company first. And like, that's a whole different industry that we, you know, and just to briefly go back to the question, just for anyone who's curious, it's about 9.5 by 35.5. It's a fish shape. So it's something that is definitely more of kind of like a smaller pow surfer, I guess. I mean, this is not even the same application as what we would consider a single deck snow skate. Like I don't honestly, and I just have all that's on their website is a mock-up. It's not actually the physical product. It's just the graphic with the mock-up.
But that's like the same
$159 too. You're about the same as a price as a. So I don't know. I mean, having not ridden one, I don't know. Having that, yeah. Anyway, but the application just isn't even the same. So.
And to actually answer the question, I did want to preface that, or I wanted to give some background and actually talk about them as a company before answering the question, because I am intrigued, and I don't know enough about the physics of what makes a snow skate a good snow skate, and how something that is shaped and not just, you know, totally straight edges like we're used to riding on single decks, like how that'll actually work. It's intriguing, but I have no idea if it will. But I mean, I would love to try one if there's one around. I have no clue, but it's cool. I think it'd be cool if those, you know, shapes actually work, to see more of those. But yeah, no idea.
I mean, it seems like it has the same dimensions as a Phil Moru board, but just with a different shape. I gotta imagine it's still functional beyond a pow surf, in my opinion. Because I mean, I use my full board. Sorry, my big board. I always call them fulls. Back in the day, Premier would call them full boards.
Full length. Yeah.
Anyways, I use that shit more than anything, so I feel like I would hope it would still operate as such. Maybe a hybrid between the two, but
yeah.
And here's the thing too: is it's not in production. It's still pre-order at this point, and it'll be shipped on December 15th, so in a few days. So I mean, it's 2 days from now. It's not like an out now kind of a thing. And yeah, the shape, I'd like to see what the nose and tail look like, because presumably, if this is a pow surfer, I'm going to guess that the nose and tail aren't that high. But you can't really tell just from the
mock-up, yeah.
From the mock-up, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really answer that question. It does seem intriguing, but yeah, until we see one and see what else they do, who knows? Similar, well, not really, kind of. Lisa Fowler, different size snow skates, pros and cons of, you know, longer boards, wider boards. I think the easiest way to sum it up is the bigger board you have, the more stability you're going to have. The shorter and, you know, skinnier board you have, the easier it's going to be for flip tricks. Then you got to find the balance that's right for you. Zach, you pointed this out, that I don't actually do flip tricks anymore. I didn't realize that, and I've been riding the bigger boards. I had no idea. that I don't do flip tricks. But I mean, I prefer the bigger boards. I just love the stability. And like, I had fun messing around on that jib, but it being, 8.5 by 32.5 or whatever, I was like, man, this thing feels like a toy or a tech deck compared to what I'm used to riding, so I don't know. For me, that stability far outweighs the maneuverability, the ability to flip the board and the smaller board. But I think it boils down to stability versus flipping your board. Zach?
I have a lot to say on this topic, but I'll try to keep it concise because I'm in the same boat as you. I would agree that like the only reason I still use the smaller board at this point is because for technical tricks and flip tricks. But then you see someone like Danny, who is shorter than me, and he can tray flip those things, rail heel, and he can do all that stuff where I might only kick flip, heel flip them. So it's really is all personal preference. But I'm also a person that was against the big board for years and years and years until about 3-4 years ago when I was like, sure, give me one, I'll try it out. And my friend was using my real board, my go-to board, so I started riding it, and I was like, I fucking love this thing. And as you said, it's the added stability that I love. As I get older, I kind of value more like basic tricks, straight on, just like board slides and kick flips and simpler stuff. So I love it for that. And that's I feel like that's a huge pro versus con thing right there, is like simpler tricks I feel are way better on it. But Danny B would probably disagree with me. And lastly, this is something I noticed, maybe people would dispute this, but dude, they're faster. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe it's a surface-based thing, but they're faster and they stay faster longer. And maybe I shouldn't say like people are going to be running to go get them like they're going to, they're going to survive a nuclear explosion or whatever. But I really do think they're a little faster, and I think they stay faster. And that's why I love them too.
Interesting. Andrew, as a bigger dude, how do you feel about the bigger boards versus the, smaller standard boards?
Yeah, so I've always skated the bigger boards.
And how tall are you, and what's your shoe size for people's reference?
I'm size 13 shoe. I'm 6'5", 180 pounds. That's what it says on my driver's license. So, I've always skated the Moreau or the Allen size stuff, and then actually this year, I got the Jensen Fisker Pro model, which is it's about the same size as what my skateboard is. So, yeah, I think if you have the ability, if you're fortunate enough to be able to have two sizes, but again, like I'm pretty tall and like I could still get flip tricks on the bigger boards, but I am really excited to try the smaller one. I just got it. Haven't even gripped it yet, but.
And keep in mind, smaller is relative. It's the Jensen, which is the mid-size, 34 by 8.
It's good in between.
Yeah.
Totally. That's honestly, and just having it and seeing it, I think that in between size is going to be kind of the best of both worlds, especially if you don't know what kind of skating you want to do. So I'm really excited to have it this season. We'll see if I get some flip tricks this year, and hopefully that's kind of what my plan is, because I'd like to get back to that. And yeah, just flipping the big 36 by, that's just, I can do it, but I only got maybe a couple in me, It's a lot of
Yeah, it is a little bit harder to flip for sure. But yeah. I mean, I'm with you. My little board is the Jensen too. And I think if you're like full grown adult, I think you'll be better served by, gravitating toward the Jensen or the Moreau size versus the standard ambition size of the 8.5 by 32.5. I just think that added size will benefit more people than not.
Maybe people should buy my board. What do you mean?
Oh, also true. Yeah.
No, well, Jeremy and mine are again a little bit in between, but I agree that I think that Jensen is a nice size board, even though it's wider. It's not as long. I think it's the length that's hard to flip more than it is the width.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could do all the same flip tricks on the Jensen that I could not do on the Moru. So
sure.
And there's extra length there as well as width.
Yeah,
sure. Gotcha.
That's exactly it, because I was thinking about where I kick, and what's harder about the Moreau is that it's a longer board. So where I'm used to hitting my kick flips on my skateboard is not where it is on my snow skate.
Exactly.
And when I under rotate kick flips on my bigger boards, like I always do, that's why I wanted the Fisker this year.
Sure.
Anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Long-winded answer for Lisa.
Yeah, that was a very long answer. But Cameron Lapstra, concave or no concave? I think the unanimous answer is concave. I don't know anybody that prefers no concave, and if anything, people prefer extra concave, double concave.
I have a lot to say on that.
Okay, go for it.
You don't have to go to bed tonight, do you, Eric? Okay.
No, we're good, man.
So I get a lot of people messaging me, and I feel like now this is only from my perspective, but people are like, man, like the pro boards are all, I can't find one. Like they can only find a team board maybe when they message me, and they're like, I need that concave. And I'm like thinking how when I used to ride no concave boards for the first like at least like 6-7 years I rode for Ambition, and I could do all the same flip tricks I could on those than I could on the concave. I don't think the concave really affects your flip tricks that much. I really don't think it does that much. I don't feel it at all. So I wouldn't make it like to me, it's not like a make or break point on a board. I mean, the one thing I love about it is just how it feels kind of standing on it, and I like that it prevents toe drag. And I like how it even looks. I know that's kind of a dumb thing to say about looking down at it. I don't know. But at least in terms of functionality and how it flicks, maybe it's just how I skate, I never really even noticed that much of a difference. It wasn't like, oh, I can tray flip on these boards, but I can't tray flip on the team board. I could do all the same tricks. I don't know about you guys. I mean, you guys also rode boards that didn't have concave because it didn't exist.
Yeah,
so
and
did you notice the difference?
I think it's largely a comfort thing. Like, I don't think there's too much there technically necessarily, but I'm just thinking back to like 2013, 2014. Like once we all discovered that concave was a thing, like Icon did it for a while with the true concave inserts. But I mean, what we were doing, I think we've talked about this in previous podcasts before, is taking the grip up and then making like a ladder of like 1, 2, 3 layers of grip to like basically make our own concave. And between like us doing that and then Ambition starting to make the concave, like there really weren't any holdouts that I remember that didn't go to concave as soon as that started being a thing. So again, I don't think it's, like you said, a necessity, but if you have the option, I do think that, I mean, it's just so much more comfortable to ride and does prevent toe drag.
The best way to put it, comfortable for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me this question, cut and dry, concave all day. But I don't think it should deter someone from getting a board. If all they have is like, oh, the team board's the only option and you really want to snow skate, trust me, the team board is still a really great board. It's not going to be that drastically different, but I'm also saying don't discount the pro model. So, but concave all day. Sorry. That's just my opinion, is don't expect a crazy difference.
Totally.
To me.
Gucci Dan, what's the acceptable amount of 40s to bring with at the sesh? At least a couple. Yeah, 3 or 4. You always got to be looking out for the homies too. You don't want to go dry at the session. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I meant for one person.
Yeah, how many do you bring? It's more about how you pace yourself, because depending on when you start, when you get your trick, then you can really open up. But if you get there and you've been pre-gaming, you're not going to get your trick, and then maybe it turns into something else.
Well, you got to pre-game a little bit. You got to make sure you have the celebratory beers on deck. You got to plan it all out. You got to have a full backpack. It's a natural cooler in the winter. You're good.
You open the 40, you don't finish it right away. You just sip it.
Yep.
You take
have
it
to
slow.
pace yourself. Yes, this is true.
Unless you're trying the 540 challenge, which is to drink 540s in a day, I think is the 540 challenge.
Yeah, it was a day. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
God damn. Well, don't get the high gravity. You never want to get high gravity.
God. No. And then Duick asks, how many beers are required to snow skate? I'm going to answer this one in a not as joking of a manner. There is a sweet spot, and it all depends on if you drink before or during. So I think like 2 to 3 beers in a session is pretty nice. But I don't think you should drink 2 to 3 before you go out. But if it's during the process and you're already warmed up and you're already skating, then I think I'm not saying to go get drunk and go fucking skate, or everyone, it impairs everyone differently, but there's a nice little happy medium sweet spot with like 2 to 3 drinks for me.
And there's an explanation behind this. And it's funny because what you're describing, I experienced the same thing playing pinball. I experienced the same thing on the golf course. I'm not kidding. You get into a relaxed state, you get your head kind of out of the game and you let your body do its thing. And it kind of works. And now I'm not totally 100% advocating to drink every time you snow skate or anything like that. But there's a nice little sweet spot. You can get away with it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But then once you go off that cliff, there's no coming back. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you do not get close to that cliff or you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Oh, man. Duick, is Rick the best pinball player in the Twin Cities?
Where do you rank these days? Where do you rank these days? Do you have any kind of a reference? And don't be so modest. Let's hear where you're ranking.
I'll fucking pull it up. God damn it. All right.
Oh, there's a question in no, keep going. I won't
947th in the world and 7th in the state.
So what does that mean in the Twin Cities, though, for you?
I mean, there's a scene in St. Cloud.
There's a
handful of players up there, but I mean, it's pretty much the Twin Cities is the entire scene. So there'd be like 10 players in St. Paul that play, or St. Cloud that play regularly, but everyone else is in the metro. I'm trying to do it for you, man.
You're standing pretty well. Damn.
Doing my thing. 4 years of playing pinball nonstop is paying off, I guess.
So expensive.
I had one I wanted to talk about really quick. Yeah. Just to touch on it briefly. There's one from Daniel Toledo A. Mm-hmm. What kind of snow surface is best for flat ground tricks? Oh, yeah. I had in your neighborhood, I don't know if you know, there was a sidewalk in my neighborhood that never got plowed, and people would like kind of pack it down, and it was like just a really nice gentle hill. Mm-hmm. That was always my favorite place to go get flip tricks. I mean, grass surfaces are always good too, but I feel like a nice, really covered concrete surface, a sidewalk that has a texture that can get covered and then stay packed. Mm-hmm. And especially if it's just like a really gentle hill. Actually, Eric, it's when I used to live in Whittier. There's a spot by the MIA that's just the perfect little gentle slope, and then
sure, yeah, there's some nice mellow hills over there.
Yeah, and it was always my favorite place to go, just practice flat ground. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add.
Yeah, no, to echo what you said, yeah, if you can find a packed concrete surface, concrete over grass for sure, ideally early in the season rather than later, but yeah, just packed. I mean, you only need that much snow packed in. It really doesn't take that much, but the more packed, the better, because the quicker it's going to be. As long as it's nice, clean snow, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would agree. Don't put too much snow down, because if it's too much, it'll suck up your pop, or like kind of, I don't know how you'd say, like almost, it'll take away from your pop instead of giving to it. So make sure it's a real thin surface, but also make sure that you can still track in it too. If it's packed down to the point of like slippery ice, you don't want that either, but that also may be dependent on the weather and snow conditions. But
yeah.
Another quick one, username Tanner. Why not do a normal winter sport? I do. I also play hockey a couple times a week. Yeah. Actually, can I quote you, Eric, and Alan? We were out on Friday night, and Alan said something that was along the lines of like, "Why do we do a sport that doesn't even work?" that quote is, we were trying to hit this like bank like this
Jersey barrier type thing.
Yeah. We just all kind of had a laugh, and then we kind of looked at each other like, yeah, why do we do this? It's like,
there's just so many variables. It doesn't work most of the time. Maybe we all hate ourselves or something. Dude, I don't know what it is, but it's awful.
I have another good quote that I'd never heard involving snow skating. Last week, Neil and I were snow skating this bump to barrel, and we had to run so fast for it because it was flat, not downhill to the bump. And I was like, dude, my hamstrings, my groin are fucked up from running, dude. If I didn't have to run, this would be so much easier. And Neil was like, well, snow skating is more just like a track and field sport. And I was like, I spend more time running than I do snow skating. And I was like, that is not only a hilarious joke, but extremely true.
Yeah, running and shoveling. Yeah, you do that a lot more than snow skating itself. But all right, boys, we got to drop for a Zoom break. All right, we are back. Question from Patty E. Robinson. When is Gucci Dan going to turn pro for the team? He's killing it. Great question. I have no idea, but he is absolutely killing it. I mean, he's put a lot of focus on social media over the last year or two, and it's paying off. I mean, he is really blowing up on Instagram, and the Barracks they've been reposting him. They reposted some stuff from him from like a year ago, which was cool, but kind of weird. I don't really know how that came about. Yeah, strange, but cool. How do you guys feel about the Barracks reposting snow skating with all that the Barracks is now?
I'll let Andrew answer first.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd say it's probably good for exposure. I think that's really the only way I look at it. I think that they have definitely their crowd. We'll see. I guess it'd be like hopefully good for the sport to get more people into it, but then also it's like there's this thing of the experience you have doing it. I think that it's kind of problematic for skateboard. I shouldn't say all, but I think definitely some skateboarders that go into it and are immediately taken out of it by how different it is than skateboarding, because they see clips of people doing skateboarding tricks and it's not this same experience. So, it's kind of, but then again, it's just good for exposure, I guess, is the ultimate thing. That's what you got to look at it as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like it's all about exposure, and I mean, at the end of the day, we are a pretty niche activity, right? And regardless of how you feel about the barracks, I think that the exposure is good. And I mean, I don't follow the barracks. I don't watch their skateboarding stuff. I don't really want to. Like once in a while, if something pops up that's cool, I will watch it. I'm not actively against them, but yeah, I mean, I think it's exposure. I think it's good. Zach?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we really have to worry about it like jeopardizing our image or integrity.
Yeah.
Because I'm self-aware enough to know that snow skating is probably already viewed as kooky to some extent. So it's like whatever, So I guess, yeah, for exposure's sake, it's awesome. And kind of like what you're saying, I'm not a barracks guy really at all, but at least they've kind of been down with us and they've been down to support us. I mean, even as far back as Saba, they did at least post Dave and Josh's parts at those times. And
yeah.
Now I think they're realizing that there's more attention to it, and they, cause I look at, like, for example, you said that post that they posted a day was that kickflip. And if you look at the surrounding videos, they got a lot more views than the 18 other posts they did that day, which is crazy. I didn't realize how many times they post a day because I don't follow them either. But I think they're realizing that, like, it's definitely something that stands out. So I don't know if it's something that's based out of selfishness, like, oh cool, we can kind of piggyback off this, or if they actually back it, who knows. But either way, it's a win-win maybe to some extent. So I'm not bitter about it, and if they're willing to promote us, I mean, I'm just grateful, I guess, because at the end of the day, it exposes us, and which is, I guess, good. So
yeah, for sure,
better to have it than not, I guess, is the short answer on that.
Yeah, yep, I'd agree with you.
But I'd like to add one more thing to this question, because here's something a lot of people don't know. When people ask the question, like, yo, turn this dude pro, I don't know if I'm sure no one knows this. It's extremely hard in snow skating, because in order to get a mold for a snow skate shape costs a lot of money. So you really have to keep the number of pros limited, unfortunately, because, like, if we were to add another pro and we had to make another board for them, it costs a lot of money. So, like, obviously it's so easy to be like, oh, turn this dude pro, but it's not always financially feasible, unfortunately. Like, for example, with me, I knew 2 years almost before I even got my board, and they felt bad keeping, like, not telling me. So they're pretty much like, hey, we want to do it, but we can't financially do it right now. Just know that we're going to at some point. And I was like, yeah, if it happens, that's awesome. So just know that turning someone pro is not the same maybe as skateboarding, not that I know about it in skateboarding sense, but it's not as easy as you would think as just putting someone's name on a board. There's a lot more that goes into it with the mold, so that's why it can be hard at times. We know that Dan's killing it, trust me.
Yeah,
everyone knows that Dan's killing it.
Totally. And I mean, another point too,
he's the Instagram king.
Team. Like, there are a lot of pros right now. I'm going to pull up the website. What were you saying, Zach?
There's 6
pros, and then how many?
I think there's more than there's ever been.
It's so funny that that's kind of the metric that we use to measure success from the skateboarding industry. And yeah, like, there's people that have never had pro models that I think have contributed a lot to the sport,
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you guys remember that one year where Ambition just kind of made a bunch of pro models, but it was like maybe 2011, 12-ish era. It was kind of like suddenly, like, everyone had one. Even like Austin and Mitch had like a combined pro model. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And
Bjorn,
so, like, that was
somebody else had a shared one.
That was more
too.
like, right. Yeah. Or what, Bjorn, I feel like, had his own. Was there another shared
Bjorn
one?
did.
I don't know. Regardless, that was kind of like, it was colorways more than pro model, I guess. And it was kind of like they put their names on the grip, which then it just kind of came right off once you skated it enough, because it was like screen printed ink or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I always thought that was kind of cool, but yeah, it's not exactly the same as having an actual pro model with your own graphic and everything. And again, a lot goes into that, so it's not so easy, unfortunately.
Right. All right, Joshy Lynch. What is a good method of removing the glue from Extreme off the foam? I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Honestly, I don't really know what the use case would be. But in general, removing grip, heat Hair dryer. I know some people like to, put boards in the oven temporarily. I wouldn't recommend that. I don't like it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Never heard that one.
How big is your oven, dude?
Yeah. Say you got the Filmora board in the oven.
Yeah, not good.
Put it on.
But yeah, hair dryer is probably the best way of doing that. I don't know if there's a good way of getting the glue residue off of the actual foam grip itself, though. Other than just trying to be careful with the hair dryer.
On, I guess, but the anything in some sort of adhesive remover is going to fuck with your foam, because the EVA foam would probably be reactive to a glue gun like that. So I'd say I was saying like a razor blade,
maybe a credit card.
Yeah, something like a soft blade, or if you have like a wood scraper or just a putty scraper, you could probably get it. But yeah, we were talking about this, and I was trying to figure out the application if you want the new extreme grip, or if your extreme grip is falling off. Then that's a different thing. That's something I think, Zach, we were talking about this week, because you're getting blown up about people's extreme grip falling off.
Wait, how'd you know that? Did we did talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you tell someone that's just part of the sport? It's like, yeah, that just happens. I'm sorry. Like, no one wants to hear that when they buy a product and they go out and they snow skate and their grip falls off, and it's like, it's kind of what happens in snow skating. Just think about it physically. You're putting your shoes along a stud. It's not the same as a skateboard grip. There's a lot more traction and things to grab onto. But yeah,
moisture.
Unfortunately, grip falls off.
Not a good recipe.
Ever so briefly touch on that. You want to, if you're gripping your board, make sure your EVA foam on the bottom is clean. When you cut out the pieces of your grip, you want to make sure you have rounded edges. Make sure you have a hair dryer or something. You can just make sure that adhesive backing sticks really good. And then hopefully your studs will last a year. I think that's the best advice. If you guys have anything else,
that was well said.
Yep. BattleBot Trainer, craziest flat ground tricks you've seen. Honestly, for me, it's 3 flips on flat, because those are really hard to do in a snow skate. Nothing else really comes to mind.
Yeah. I've done under 5 in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really tough.
I'll be working on my forward flip this year with my Fisker. I haven't got one in a while.
Eric's on flat?
I can get them on skateboards pretty consistently now, but I want to get one. Not on. Well, I can do them on flat, but it's a lot of jump, because it comes kind of. You kind of pop, and then you flick forward, and it comes up under right in between my legs. And I can only do it because I'm so tall, but you have to get the leverage to like get that to fling around, and that's one I'd like to get this year on film, get that out there. So,
you know who had some crazy flat ground tricks actually was Johnny Geiger. He did like front foot impossible maybe a few years ago. That's one I don't think I've ever really seen mimic.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
But yeah, my first thing that comes to my mind is like, oh, you can tray flip on flat on a snow skate. You're fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So hard.
As we've talked about in the past, friendly reminder for everyone: if you're trying to 3 flip on a snow skate, do not scoop. It is not like a skateboard. Make it as vertical as possible. Put your foot on the very tip of the tail and basically try to pop it like straight up, like almost like Muska flip, 360 flip, like straight up and down vertical style, and not scoop around, because it just does not work.
And then when you do that, it still doesn't work. So, all right, what's the next question?
Also true.
It's that hard. At least for me, it's that hard. Is. But the people who can do them do say that. You're right.
All right. NH snow skating, spot prep and making tips. I'll leave this one to you guys. I don't prep my spots. I just skate them.
I'm going to write a book about it.
Yeah, I do more spot prep than skating.
No, I do too. I'm joking. I do less than other snow skaters do.
I don't know. Everyone has different definition on spot prep. I'm fucking nuts about it. Like, I bring a propane tank with a flamethrower sometimes to a spot to clear off the running area if it's full of ice. I bring an ice pick. I shovel it down to nothing and then put a little snow over top of it. There's just a lot that goes into it. I don't want to get too far into it, I guess. It's kind of a loaded question as well.
Yeah, for park stuff, I mean, this is my approach is always do as much as you can in the fall. I do all my woodworking, or I should say like most of my terrain building I do in the fall, and then mow your grass really short, let it freeze as soon as it gets cold. Once the snow comes down, You can have your stuff up before. Some stuff you can have down on the ground before it snows, some stuff after, and then yeah, it's just a matter of like order of operations and figuring out. But yeah, the ground prep is absolutely important, especially going out to a spot, making sure that there's snow there. I mean, honestly, too, if security is an issue, like, you know, you might have to go in one run and sweep out the salt and then wait like an hour and then go back. I mean, there's just so much stuff that like you can't overthink it enough, because you don't want it to fuck it up when you go for it, I guess is what I got to say about that.
Yeah, I think the only tip that I would have is if skating a street spot, even if there's already snow, try to dig up what's already there and put fresh snow down, because that'll help you move a little faster and get a lot of that dirt, grime, maybe salt if that's around. Get that out of there and allow you a quicker run up. But yeah, just kind of work with what you got and yeah, do your best. It's snow skating. There are way too many variables and you probably won't get your trick anyway. Pretty sick. Illegal snow skating.
So you probably won't get your trick anyways. This Snowskate podcast is just all about how to deter people from snow skating.
Adult snow skaters just hating.
This is bitter adult snow skaters talking. Okay.
Illegal snow skate tricks. I mean, we've talked about this a lot in previous podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything more than 540 shoves and bad crop duster worm burner 360 shoves?
I always say how much I hate people making kickers up to street handrails, but I've already said that on this podcast before illegal. Too. That's very illegal to me.
Yeah.
That's
going to be my whole sponsor me when I do it. So
there's a time and place for them.
Who's got the best kickflip in snow skating? I think it's Blay. Blay, I'm not sucking up to you. I believe that. Like, I know you're listening, but you have the best pop, flick, and catch of a kickflip in snow skating.
He has he might have the best flat ground one, but I'm going to throw two more people out there. Josh Oakes has a nice quick one that catches him like on the way up. Yeah. His kickflip's awesome, and I really like Sed's kickflip. His are super nice and quick too. After watching that new part, I was like, this dude has a really good kickflip.
Yeah.
Berman.
Yeah.
He's got some kickflip. I've seen him he's got a good one. I mean, he's tall like me, so I really like that he uses that because he's got height. He's got that high pop that I like. Not to be the same name, you know. So, but you know, he's good too.
You guys want to see some low rocket flips? Watch some footage from your boy.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Favorite trick clip of the new vid from Damien LaFrance. We mostly covered that. I still think it's the board slide hippie jump. That was so sick.
Yeah, that was I think the one that stood out to me the most. I think
I definitely yelled the loudest watching that clip. Simon Crew, how the fuck do you overcook a square rail? I have no idea. We're all trying to figure that out. We don't know.
How do you overcook any rail?
No, I think Alan knows. I think those are the only people that know. We're trying to figure it out. If you know, Simon, let us know. Yeah, I guess Josh. Ugh, doesn't make any sense. Yikes! I am not going to be able to pronounce this username. Junu Pulaka Naho. Is there any fully sponsored snow skaters? Not really.
What is he? Or what are they asking by that?
Like
make.
Do they mean like anyone that's so like fully sponsored to the point that's like what they do for a living?
I would think so. I guess some people kind of do that. I mean, some people don't work and just snow skate.
They don't make no one's ever been able to make a living wage off snow skating. I feel like the closest people would be is like me, Phil, and Alex, but we also work for Ambition. We don't make it just strictly from being, I guess, like a rider or a quote unquote athlete for the company.
Yeah.
There's just not enough money in snow skating to do that. But if they're asking, are there any fully sponsored people like on the team? Well, then I guess that just would be looking at an Ambition team as the team, I guess. We get as many boards as we want. Well, no, we don't anymore because they sell out. All right.
Tonia Yadras. What is the best snow skate for carving or downhill? Really any, but probably if you're trying to like carve and ride down hills, the bigger the better. Probably go for a Moreau or a Jensen, depending on your size.
I'd say a bi-deck.
Yeah, if you're
or
that's
a
what I was
bideck
going
if
to
you
say.
really want to turn.
If you really want to get in, I'd say like try a pow surfer or a bideck, depending. They'll have more of the mobility of like a snowboard, I think. So if that's what you're into, but yeah, if it's just a single bideck, yeah, the bigger the better, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Phil Moreau, only 2 questions. How many questions per person is allowed? Phil, you can ask as many questions as you want, man. We love you. And I'm surprised you didn't send in your usual like 7.
Yeah.
I assume for the next episode, the next time we post one of these,
he's
we'll get
he's probably been busy shipping pre-orders, so he could only get in 2 this week.
Yeah, true.
2 kids, true. all the Snowskate orders. He's a busy dude.
He just got a new cat too. Cat's beautiful.
New cat more than anything.
Yeah. More than
the last time we video chatted, it was like last week we had like a video call for work and it was just on. He pops up and it's just a cat on his shoulder, like a parrot. I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? Right on.
Oh, I love that. I would do that with Maple in the room, but it wouldn't work. What kind of trick spots, clips would you like to see more of in the future from Phil again? Just unique spots. Again, we've talked about this in past podcasts, but anything surprising too. I just want to see like new stuff. Like, seeing a varial heel down a 9-stair is cool. Like I'm down to watch that. I'm down to try it. I think it's cool, but man, like board slide to hippie jump over that little L rail. I've never seen anything like that. And I was so stoked. So, I mean, if you can just find something out in the streets and go film a cool trick on it, even if it's, kind of basic, like I'm trying to see that. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah. Shoot it good. Have good form. It's not even about the tricks or the spots. It's almost like I could just watch Danny just skating that bump to bump and just get some clean shit. And
yeah.
Good.
And go fast. I want to see. Going
fast. Yeah.
What's
Zach,
the quote?
To add? Oh, faster is always better. Alan Gerlach,
there
2011.
It is.
Skrill Clinton.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I guess some of the time it's really dependent on the spot. You got to find the right spots, and that's probably one of the most crucial components. Otherwise, filming and the way you approach it can be important too. Some of that like quick hit type stuff and not just like you said, like a single trick is really entertaining if you can maybe manage to pull off a line at a spot. Again, I guess it's really spot dependent for me anyway.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
That's what I'd like to see more of, but I also know it's really hard.
Yeah, definitely. Last but not least, Snowskate Jeff. I don't know if this is a capital I or a lowercase L. It's pretty intriguing. I don't know how to answer the
most important question of the night.
And it's our ender. I mean, I saved this one for last. I want some more context on this. Snowskate Jeff, I really hope you can follow up on the next episode we do. We got to expand on this.
Yeah, you know what? I had a lot of thoughts on this one, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that's a capital I.
Me too.
And I know we don't get into a lot of philosophy on the show. But he's asking, what is I? It's like, so when you say I, and you point to the I as that does not change, it cannot be the lived experiences of the self. So what does that word mean or point to then when we refer to I as self? And I just thought I'd open that up to, the philosophical minds of snow skaters. We could really debate what self is, and hard determinism. Do we have free will? These I think are the questions that Snowskate Jeff is trying to pose to us. So I just want to open that up.
Be yourself, dude. Don't be afraid to ask.
I think it's a lowercase L, man. I don't know.
No, it's definitely no way. That's definitely an I, uppercase I, because you go to type in a question, you say you're about to type I something, and then it autocorrects it to an uppercase I, and then he's like, "Wait, I actually don't want to ask a question to this dumbass podcast. I'm out." And he's like, "Oh fuck!" Actually, and clicked enter, and then he sent us I.
And here we are.
But
thanks, Snowskate Jeff. Shout out to you, man.
We love Snowskate Jeff now.
Oh, I love it. That is the end of our listener questions. So, this is a fun first podcast, boys. You guys got anything else to add? Anything to plug? Sick?
Nothing yet. Maybe once some videos come out. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll definitely have some guests at some point in the future. We'll keep that under wraps. We got some things in the works, but we won't talk about that just yet. We'll keep you guys surprised. But yeah, I mean, if you made it this far, thanks for listening. Shout out to you. Appreciate it, and go Snowskate.
Yeah.